and let's say that I'm going to insert a picture. And let me just add that one. Doesn't matter which one. Boom, design ideas. Just pops right up. And it's like, how would you like to do this? Would you like it like this? Would you like it like that? Would you like it like this? Whatever. It's just because I just chose a random picture, but depending upon the detail of the image, there's all kinds of things that you can do with that thing. I mean, it's, if I don't like that picture, delete it. It's like, oh, okay, you don't want that picture. Well, how about that design? Or this one? Oh, yeah, man.
We're not going to know how to do anything for ourselves for time out.
Or there's a helper there to help you, like, oh, I didn't think of that before. Thank you. Yeah, but this is better than Clippy.
You can bring Clippy into Visual Studio Code.
Oh, yeah. And, okay, how many of you are developers? Okay. And how many of you are not developers? You're IT pro. Kindred spirit. You're everything.
I don't know what things.
Yeah. See, now you're a developer then. Because if I say who's a developer and you raise your hand, and I say, well, who's an IT? Well, yeah, that's good. You're a developer. Because I guarantee it, IT pros will be the first ones to say, I am not a dev.
No confusion.
There is IT pros are like, nope, that's it. I am not opening up Visual Studio unless I absolutely have to. A dev is like, well, that's the first place I'm going to go because that's where I do my stuff. I get it. But IT pros are like, no, nope, this is it. So let me go to present. Oh, wait. Office Remote is awesome because that way I get to walk around. So have you used that before? Office Remote? So it's an app on your phone as well as an app in here. You know, it's funny is sign-in is required. So with Office Remote, it's an app for Android or iOS. Imagine they don't have one for this phone. But it allows you to manipulate your PowerPoint from your phone. So like you don't have to have a back and stand there. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Oh wait, you know what? It's got to be Bluetooth. Hold on just for a second.
John says he can hear you occasionally, but
Okay, I'll yell, John. Okay, now discoverable as, okay, one moment. Let me fire up Office Remote on my, yeah, they got more apps for Android and iOS than they do for Windows Phone. That tells me something. That means that they knew. They knew that they were going to kill it. All right. Fantastic. So this is the absolute first slide. So, and then.
your laptop is shut.
Really? Oh, you don't see this? Display settings. Swap presenter and slide view. If I do this, no, now.
John and me. But there's a way to do set up to duplicate it.
Yeah, hold on here for a second. Okay, so now it's duplicated. Okay. All right, so I think most of you know who I am. Okay, for those of you who don't, my name is Rick Taylor. And little bit about myself. Well, I can't really see that very well, but that's my contact info. I work for a company called Zact, Z-A-A-C-T, based out of Draper, Utah. I do live here. I live in Gilbert. I used to work for Microsoft. You can't really see that, but actually twice I worked for Microsoft on the SharePoint engineering team, and the second time I worked for operations consulting, which basically is the governance arm for all products: Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, the OS, and ITSM. I've written a few books, and I keep saying that I'm never going to do it again, and I've already pitched a proposal for another book, which it's like insanity. You forget how bad it was, and then all of a sudden it's bad, and you're like, dang, why didn't I?
And you make so much money and you do it.
Oh, I know. That's what he keeps like, I didn't make any money. I'm never going to do this again. And then it's like, why am I doing this again? I didn't make any money. I don't know. Something's wrong with me. Okay, so management shell. Well, we're going to talk about SharePoint Online, or PowerShell for SharePoint Online. But before we actually even talk about that, we have to talk about what the management shell is. How many of you deal with PowerShell? A little bit? Really? You know that's the language of SharePoint now. You're going to get away from clicking.
That's why I'm here.
Okay? SharePoint is a very clicky application. You got to click everywhere to get anywhere. I got to click on the wheel, I got to click on that menu, I got to click over here. Even if you're a developer, you're always clicking. You type a little bit of code, and then you got to click, deploy, and then click around and see if it worked. With SharePoint, with PowerShell, you don't have to do anything. Just give a couple of commands, and it does what it needs to do. If you are not really versed in SharePoint, or if you're not really versed in PowerShell, I would highly recommend that you do. I have a series of both PowerShell for on-premises and PowerShell for SharePoint Online on my blog. It's on the first slide. I'll give it to you again. TechNet, blogs.technet.com/RIT. Okay, so it goes through a series of PowerShell from very, very basic to a little bit more advanced. Now, when I say basic, I'm talking about this is what PowerShell is. Verb dash noun, and I explain every little step of it because I'm not a developer, and I have had these courses that say, oh, beginning C#. It's never beginning C#. There's no such thing as beginning C#. Everything starts in the middle, intermediate. You take an IT pro, you take a class on how to develop, and they'll sit there and developers just go right off, like assuming. I assume nothing. I assume you know absolutely nothing, and I can take a 10-year-old through this PowerShell course, and they'll be able to do PowerShell. It's not that I am insulting your intelligence, it's just that I know what it's like to actually learn something from scratch, and especially when you're talking about writing code. Okay, so the SharePoint Online Management Shell is where everything begins. Now, if you are doing on-premises, in order for PowerShell to work with SharePoint, you have to add what is called a snap-in. Okay, what a snap-in is a bunch of modules, right, with DLLs, right, that install on the computer so that the computer can now understand that language. It doesn't understand SharePoint. The computer that SharePoint sits on all of a sudden has DLLs, and it's like, oh, I know what SharePoint is. But for PowerShell to understand it, you have to tell it. And you say, hey, I want you to read from these modules, these pieces of code, so that you know what I'm talking about. And then when you say add PS snap-in, and then you tell it which module, and there's modules for everything. There's a module for SharePoint. There's a module for Exchange. There's a module for SQL. There's a module for anything.
So the snap-in, you add that with PowerShell.
Yep. You open up PowerShell.
And then you put it on the server that SharePoint.
Whatever server SharePoint is on.
So we have a farm. I'm sorry.
No, please, this is awesome. This is
So
great.
I have a farm, and we have 2 web servers.
Yep, you got the web server, you got the application server.
Application, we have 2 application servers, 2 web servers, and a database. Right. So when I'm doing PowerShell, how do, like, if you
Because they're all in the same farm. They all share the configuration database. So the configuration database is the brain of the farm. Everything is there. One configuration database per farm. So you just go to any SharePoint server, and you just type it, click the start button. Your version 2013 or 2016? 2013. Click the start button, type in the word PowerShell. Up will come this menu.
I've done PowerShell a couple of times. The thing is, since I am a developer, I know what my code does. I don't know what SharePoint code does. So anytime I have to do anything in command line, I'm like at a panic attack.
Okay.
So the fact that you're telling me you have models out there that take you from the beginning, because I mean, I know C#, so I could do that all day. But once you tell me to open a command line and say, oh, hey,
Let's-
start typing that, I'm like, oh, I don't know it.
Let's go there. Oh, yeah. See, so PowerShell is built on it. I mean, it was written in C, actually C++, but C#. It's both of them. They're .NET. Both of them are .NET.
Common kind of quote I like to give our IT pro folks. IT pros always say, I'm not a developer. Right? So I'll ask them, do you use PowerShell? You know, yeah. They'll say, yeah, you kind of use a development tool stuff.
You are. It is. Yeah.
If you can write a C# code to create a site in SharePoint, the PowerShell version of that is very close.
So let's go to blogs.technet.com/RI Taylor. So this is my blog. Yeah. Invalid account. Oh, yes. Because TechNet went to old 365. And since it went to old 365, it knew that I was already logged in under something else. So now I got to log in with my, that's the one thing. It should automatically, anyway. So I'm going to log in using my Microsoft account. They should automatically allow that everywhere. All right, so this is me. And I'm going to go to my okay, SharePoint from an engineer's perspective, because that's what I am. So here's the series. Okay, the real primer. Okay, so here's part 1. Okay, so I go through this long-winded thing because I'm really long-winded and I like to talk. So I go through all that, and I even say, look, this is how afraid IT pros are of writing code, developing. I mean, we see this and we're flipping out. Okay, so this is basically just basic scripting code. Okay, cool. So now, when you open up PowerShell, this is what you see. Actually, this is just the command prompt. This is just the command prompt. Okay, you type in the word PowerShell, and up comes PowerShell, just like that. Now, yes. As a matter of fact, anything in DOS that you type will work in PowerShell. DIR works. CLS, clear screen, everything. All those things that you use for DOS automatically work in PowerShell. Matter of fact, I even show you that. I got pictures of it. I type in DIR. You want to change directory? CD, just like DOS. It understands all of that. That's because everything that you use in DOS is just an alias for PowerShell. PowerShell just knows that CD means child item. For PowerShell, that means, or that's directory, right, is child item. That's what it knows. That's its alias. Okay, so then I go through all of that, and then if you want to do a different alias, you can create one. Just say new alias. So if I don't like CLS to mean clear screen with too many letters, I just want CS. clear screen, I could just type in new dash alias CS for clear screen. Next thing I know, I type in CS. I can make whatever alias I want as long as it doesn't already exist. PowerShell is extremely powerful because it works with all of the objects. Anything that is on not just SharePoint, but the actual physical server, hard drive, memory, all of that. I mean, for those of you who develop and using C++ or even C, and you can manage all the memory, allocate the memory and all that, which you don't have to do with .NET anymore, but you can CLR. Some of you developers, you know when I say CLR? That took care of all of that. .NET took care of memory, you had to allocate memory and all that. Prior to that, you had to. With PowerShell, you could still manipulate that if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay, and so it goes, and I go through each of the steps in how PowerShell works. So now in your situation, you've got 4 SharePoint servers. You just go to any of them, open up command prompt by PowerShell. That's what you want to do. That's what we're going to talk about here. What can you do with PowerShell? What should you be doing in PowerShell? That's what we're going to talk about. All right. Whoop. Okay, so for online, we'll get to on-premises here in a bit, but for online, there are some differences. SharePoint Online Manager is a Windows PowerShell model. Like I said, there's modules for everything. When you are on-premises, like in your case, in order for PowerShell to work, you need to add the snap. So add -ps snap. Then you type in the module for SharePoint, which is Microsoft.SharePoint.PowerShell. If you want to do it for Exchange, Microsoft.Exchange.PowerShell. If you want to do it for SQL, it's
SharePoint.
for SQL.PowerShell. Whatever that is, right? Microsoft.Product.PowerShell. That's the module. So for SharePoint, it'd be .SharePoint. Boom. Now for online, you don't have to do that. That's the funky thing about this, is that once you install that module, it adds that forever. Because every time I open up PowerShell on my SharePoint server, I have to do that add PS snap-in, unless I use the SharePoint management shell, which comes built in with SharePoint. So if you went to your SharePoint server, you hit the start button, you type in SharePoint, you'll get 3 icons. You'll get one that is central admin. You'll get another one, which is psconfig, or the SharePoint configuration wizard. And then you get the Windows SharePoint management shell. Click on that one, and that will automatically add the snap. So you don't have to type in add PS. That automatically does it. In Windows, in SharePoint Online, you install a module, and it will be basically turning your machine into the management shell. It's always there. Okay, so it's a Windows PowerShell module. Now, like I said, there's different modules, right? So there's one for SharePoint, there's one for Windows. So if you have SharePoint Online, you are in what they call a tenant. Okay? A tenant is basically your area of the cloud where all of your stuff is. Okay? All of your users, all of your applications are in your tenant. There is a module for Windows. There's a module if you have SharePoint. You do have SharePoint. You have SharePoint. You've got Exchange. All of that is in it. In order for you to manage that, you have to install the online management shell. Okay, so the SharePoint Online commands will manage the users and groups for SharePoint Online, not for anything else. And I'll show you some of the weird stuff that I do. It's not. It's just weird. I don't know why they did it the way they did it, but sure. Okay, now when you go to your tenant, how many of you have O365? Okay, and you're just on premises, you're not in the cloud yet? Okay. There are
We're
some,
migrating.
you're migrating to the
Yes,
cloud?
yeah, right, and migrating.
Okay. So the commandlets are different. There will be, for example, if I want to look at my users on premises, it's get SP user, get dash SP user. For online, it's get dash SPO user. Some commandments don't even exist anymore, like get SP configuration database. That doesn't exist in SPO. Why? You're not dealing with that. You don't look at that because it's all in the hardware. That's handled by Microsoft. But there are other things in SPO that you don't have in on-premises. And we'll talk about that here in a bit. There are a lot of things that you do in, for example, in Central Admin that you could do with PowerShell. Same thing with SharePoint Online. There are some things that you do in the Admin Center that you could do in SPO. Let me show you. So, if I go to my tenant, let's go to my tenant. Why don't I just log up? Is this it? Is this my tenant? I don't even know what tenant that is. Yeah, this is me. I got so many of these things, I don't even know where I'm at anymore. Okay, so this is Office 365. So I've logged in, and you can see that I can, if I'm in my admin center. Oops, let's log in. This is my admin portal. Okay, so this is my admin portal for my tenant. So this talks about my domains. This is, in this particular case, my domain is ZACTD, ZAACTD. That's my tenant. Yours will be company.com. Okay, that's where all your users are, and this is where all your stuff is going to be. So if I want to manage, for example, admin centers, I can manage my Exchange. So if I click on Exchange, it's just like if I went to the Exchange Admin Center. It is the Exchange Admin Center, but just like on premises. This is where my mailboxes are, my groups, resources, permissions, all of that. I can also go to the Admin Center for SharePoint. This is like the central